We welcome now Deborah Martin, President and CEO of Service Specialist, and Cathy Denman, Managing Partner of Horne Federal. Ladies, good to have you guys in the midday studios today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Gerard.
Thank you.
All right, Deborah, tell us exactly what Service Specialist does.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you, Gerard, for having us on. We love SuperTalk, and we realize the impact that SuperTalk has in the state of Mississippi, and we value the opportunity to get to share what we're doing with your audience. So Service Specialist was founded in 1967, and we bought the business in 1998. And primarily our focus over the years has been in staffing and recruiting. In 2012, we started winning real small federal government contracts, and this allowed us really to kind of expand our scope and our capabilities. And over the years, really, we've had the chance to significantly grow. And in probably late 2019, we started working with Horne and supporting them on some state-level opportunities. And that kind of led us to staffing and supporting really our largest contract to date with Horne. We were able to hire 300 Mississippians right here in central Mississippi to work on a large contract that Horne had won. And so it kind of led us to where we are today to talk to you about.
Wow, that's awesome. Cathy, tell us about Horne Federal.
So Horne Federal is a subsidiary of Horne LLP. Horne LLP has been in business just over 62 years, and we started as a large regional. We have grown into the 28th largest accounting firm in the country. And for most of my time at Horne, I've been in the government services arena, where we partner with state and local governments to help them manage and implement large federally funded programs. Those programs typically are in the disaster recovery area. And over the past year, we have decided to take our background and our expertise and take that to federal agencies directly. And so that's where Horne Federal comes in. We have put our focus on that. And when Deborah heard that we were focusing with federal agencies, she brought the Mentor Protege program to us and approached us about going into that with her.
So does a lot of the work then from Horne Federal serving these clients, are you involved in oversight and compliance just to make sure?
Yes, oversight compliance.
Yeah.
We can help them set up the program, design the program, then implement it, which can, if you're talking about individuals coming in to apply for funding and disaster relief, we can intake those applications, work through the eligibility process, get the funding out to the folks that need it, and then help the state and the local government and ultimately federal agencies comply with all of the regulations on the back end to a successful closeout of the program.
Yeah, because usually those programs provide the right to the grantor, right? That
yes.
they can audit everything you do and they make sure that you're totally in compliance with the program rules. And if you're not, you may actually owe some money back.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and we've seen states where they had to repay money back.
Sure.
At times where they might not have had the money there to pay back.
Yeah,
and
spend it already.
Spend it already on the program, and then have to come up with it to pay back.
So it sounds like then that your business has grown, and of course, as a result, you need more staff, you need more qualified workers, and that's where you come in, Deborah.
That's right. And really what we decided to do is more than a staffing model. So we actually support them on the contract. So this largest one that we won, we actually, Horne is the prime, and we were a subcontractor to them.
Okay.
And so they were hiring people and all the way from California to Florida. And so we recruited and staffed those contracts for Horne. And then we actually were able to support the back office, where these employees were our employees supporting Horne on their contracts. And so our goal really through the SBA's Mentor Protege program is really to learn from Horne as a small business. They've got huge capabilities. It's amazing to me as a small business when I've had questions, how do I respond to this RFQ? How do I write it up? I had no clue. I didn't know who to call. I didn't know who to ask. Of course, now you can Google and get different templates, that you could drop in, but we weren't winning contracts that way. So we had won small federal government contracts by ourselves, but this is really going to allow us to go after large contracts nationwide, but really our focus is wanting to bring those jobs back to Central Mississippi. If you said, Deborah, what's the main goal for me? That's what it would be, is to hire more people here through our joint venture to be able to support federal contracts, because there's no reason that those people can't live and work right here in Mississippi to work for federal governments, agencies.
So, Cathy, without this business relationship with Service Specialists, would your approach, would Horne's approach then be to try to staff up those sorts of resources internally to seek out and recruit people and
yes,
meet your labor needs?
A lot of it would be to try to staff and locate those individuals ourselves. And Deborah just has a large network and a much further reach than sometimes we do. And so she is able to bring the team members on quickly and the right team members at the right time.
Yeah, my experience is a lot of times just in running a business, you don't really focus on that until you need it, and then when that happens, you're already kind of behind those that are constantly in that business and maintaining an inventory
Yes.
of prospective workers. And so when you find out you win a contract, you gotta mobilize and get people on board in a hurry. And that's where your firm comes in, right?
That's right. And if you look at different disaster programs that they've worked on, it's not just here in the state of Mississippi. Horne has worked all the way from Puerto Rico to Maine. I mean, everywhere throughout the country. And so we have been able to recruit those people. But really, in this joint venture, our goal together is to put Mississippians to work.
Okay.
There's no reason that those federal contract dollars can't be used right here in Mississippi, and to bring the work back here and to manage the projects from here instead of having to go to D.C. or go to Dallas or to California, but to be able to manage the project here and employ people here.
Yeah, and it's somewhat of a unique service, is it not, Cathy? I mean, this is not a line of business that all public accounting firms are engaged in, even the big ones.
No, not really. Not really.
It's pretty specialized.
It is very specialized, and to have a partner like Deborah who can help us staff quickly and honor our goals of impacting the communities that we're working in, to hire employees and team members in those communities is huge.
Deborah, what are you seeing just in the workforce landscape in terms of availability of talent?
It really just depends on the type of labor category you're talking about. If I had 1,000 CPAs, I could hire 1,000 CPAs
Really?
and put them to work tomorrow. But it really just depends. Like on the type of contract work we are looking at right now, we are looking out into the future of opportunities for us to partner on. And if you look at those specific things that we would partner on, we would need everything from a disaster recovery, someone who can go in and look at housing and rebuild housing, all the way from that to an architect, an engineer. I mean, there's all types of different positions.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing a lot of graduates come out of colleges here in Mississippi that have an expectation of going to work for $80,000 a year, starting out with no experience. We see that, and we have to calm them down a little bit and say that's not going to happen. But I think that the future is very bright for Mississippi graduates because of all the industry that's coming in here.
Yeah. So are you finding that there's kind of a shortage of people still? I mean, are we still having an imbalance of demand and supply there?
There's definitely an imbalance when it comes to labor.
Okay.
When you're going into manufacturing, there's still, really since COVID happened, we have not recovered those jobs.
Interesting.
We see it starting to pick up really in the past, I would say, 9 months. I participate in a Bureau of Labor Statistics monthly report where I have to send in data for our company. And I've tracked it really over the past 3 years, and it's just now starting to pick up. And I hope that, with the election coming up, that'll hopefully be over and we can start, focusing back up on industry recovering from COVID, but it's not back to where it was before COVID for sure.
Are we seeing, Cathy, that more of our graduates of the fine universities in our state, are we providing opportunities for them perhaps to work and stay here in Mississippi?
We absolutely are. We would love to keep a lot of those graduates here in Mississippi, and we have positions that can work here and impact the whole country and impact Puerto Rico. We have positions that if you want to work for a local Mississippi firm that is nationwide, that you can travel with that firm. So
We got just a few seconds left, but where could someone find out if they're interested, looking for work that might suit them here?
So our joint venture is called Service Specialist Horne Federal, and they can go to either of our websites and kind of look at what we're offering and what we're pursuing, or they can contact either of our offices.
Sounds good. Deborah, Cathy, thanks for coming in. Congratulations. Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep. We're coming right back, folks, in the Element Wealth studios. Stay with us.